Gator Dave, welcome in, sir. How we doing tonight?
We are good, Mike. We're good. We got championship week, man. Week 15 of the college football season and where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Lead us into these great college football championship games. Not sure how long we'll have them around though, Mike. Things could change down the road and my gut tells me that down the road these might get eliminated. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But
I don't know. I don't know if they'll get eliminated, but non-conference opponent action to start the year and these kickoff classics, those you can kiss those
will be
goodbye.
eliminated.
You can
Yeah,
kiss
will be
those
eliminated.
goodbye.
Yeah, because there's some teams that are a little pissed off here as we talk and get into things here. We want to remind everybody we're Bets Utopia, your number one location for all things sports betting. Please like, subscribe, hit that button for us, and don't forget the podcast will be out there after this evening on Apple, Spotify, and all your favorite podcast locations. Live Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. We'll keep this thing rocking. Even next week, when all we have is Army Navy, we'll talk some football for sure on that night, for sure. But like you said,
Under. I'm
under.
just I'm just I'm just foreshadowing to next week a little bit, Dave. Just
Oh,
just
oh,
giving just
under.
giving a little preview. Just giving a little preview.
Okay, under. Okay, gotcha,
Under.
gotcha. Go the under. Okay, gotcha. and you want to talk a little bit about the silliness going on with teams getting jacked because they played good teams at the beginning of the year, such as your team, Texas. You could throw Texas in there, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
because Texas, had they not played Ohio State, had they played Cupcake U,
It's true.
they'd be in the playoff, right? So it's a bunch of crap at this point. Your team is going to get the roll weenie. Uh, about a 95% chance they're going to get the roll weenie, something like that. I mean,
So
what do you got?
I think there are possibilities that Miami can sneak
Right.
in
It's
there.
like a
They're
10%
they're
chance.
very small.
So,
They're very
yeah.
small. Uh, I think the two biggest ones that have to happen are BYU has to lose and Alabama potentially has to lose. If
Yeah.
BYU loses to Texas Tech in the
Yeah,
Big
but
12 championship, it'll give them a two-loss record at that point. Miami's one way behind them. You look at BYU's record and who they've played in the Big 12.
mhm.
Also, you could do the same thing with Texas Tech, really. They haven't played anybody. It's a super weak conference. I think that would be enough to back BYU out. And if you pay attention to what the committee did here, as much as they're trying to avoid that Miami Notre Dame head to
Yeah.
head matchup, I think they're also inviting it by moving Alabama in front of them because it makes no sense. If you look at it logistically, statistically, Alabama beat a 5-7 Auburn team, fired coach. I get it, it's a rivalry. It's not an impressive win and
One
they barely
touchdown.
won. They barely got out
One
of there.
touchdown. Yeah. Yep.
That's enough to move them ahead of Notre Dame, who won their game in blowout fashion as well. They didn't play anybody, same as
Nope.
Alabama, but they blew them out and they went back a spot. So now they're sitting at 10. BYU's 11. If BYU loses, Miami slides up to 11. Now you have at Notre Dame Miami head to head. And at that point, I think that's when you could see the committee jump Miami and consider the head to head, and Miami
And
slides
let
in.
me tell you, icing on the cake to help this all happen
It's
for your
possible.
boys.
It's possible.
Icing on the cake. Listen to this one. Let's throw in your boy Manny winning in the ACC championship game. Okay, beating Virginia. Now it's like, what the hell? Why wouldn't we put Miami in as the ACC representative? So, that could help you too, there, my partner. That could help you too. So,
Well, no, I think what happens if Duke beats Virginia, ACC, unless Miami gets in, they're
Well,
not going to be in at all.
that's what I'm saying. I just
They
think
won't be in. Period.
that would help you. That would help the cause and get that feeling of, man, we probably should. We got this stuff going on here, and now we got this stuff. Let's give Miami a shot. So, hey, we need to say hello to Scott Crawford, my lovely wife, and Demivi.
That's Evelyn.
Oh, is that Evelyn? She's changed her name. Evelyn, you
She's going
changed your name.
incognito.
Oh, okay. See, she's throwing me a curveball. I'm sorry. Yes, I've been missing. Okay. All right. Cool deal. Just wanted to say hi. All right. So that's kind of topic number one. Obviously, next Wednesday we'll talk a shit ton about it because we'll know a lot more about what's going on, and obviously, fingers crossed they'll get it right. But I'm quite doubtful that they're going to get it right like they should. But all right, you want to roll into games, Mike?
Let's roll into games.
Let's roll into games. So we're going to kind of go in the order at which they're going to be played. We have the lower tier games on Friday evening. We start off with Troy at James Madison. James Madison 23.5. Holy crap. Over under 47.5. This is the Sun Belt Championship. Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Played in Harrisburg, Virginia, home of James Madison Dukes. All right, here's what we got. Troy comes in at 8-4. James Madison 11-1, now ranked number 25 in the poll. So, which is good for them, right? So Troy's losses to Clemson, Memphis, Arkansas State, Old Dominion. They've averaged 21 points per game in their last 5. Troy's defense is ranked 71st, offense 113. Troy's 8-4 against spread, 5-1 away. I'm making this one quick, Mike, because this might sound crazy, but it's an easy one. The Dukes only lost to Louisville. If you take out the Wazoo game and look at the last 5 games, Mike, they've averaged 53 points per game. Margin of victory, 30. Quarterback Brannett has 2,400 yards, 62%, 20 TDs. He's run for 459, 13 TDs. They got a running back, Knight, 1,000 yards, 8 TDs, and 2 other kids at 400 yards each. JMU defense ranked 5th. Offense 21st. Dukes are 8-4 against the spread. This team has played already together. I know it sounds crazy. It's 23.5 points, and it's 47.5, Mike. I think James Madison could cover the whole spread of 47.5 points. But I'm going to give it James Madison covering the 23.5, and that's a crazy-ass Gator Dave lock. Because, Mike, if they win and my friend in Tulane loses, they're probably going to the bowl championship series there, buddy.
They probably are if they're able to get this one done, and I think they probably will with it being at home. But 23.5 is a lot of points here, Dave. So I'm actually going to go on the opposite of you here for a head-to-head right off the bat against your Gator Dave lock to start the week. Give me Troy plus 23.5 here on the road to keep it close-ish against James Madison in this one. I like Troy's defense. I think they'll be able to slow James Madison down a little bit. James Madison has had a couple of scares this year, a couple one-possession games against some pretty lesser opponents. So I do think Troy is going to be able to somehow keep this one a little bit close.
And really, I'm telling you, I'd be willing to bet some pizza money on that 47.5 being over. And seriously, I think James Madison's going to score 40 points. But we'll see how it goes.
You're right.
All
Xavier
right.
Madison could get that over by themselves.
I'm
They definitely
telling
could.
you, man.
Yeah, they
I'm
could.
telling you. I think that's a good bet. That's a good bet. All right. Next game, we go to the home team. We got Kennesaw State Owls are in the Conference USA Championship game. They're favored by 2.5 at Jacksonville State. The over and under here is 59.5. This is Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, like I said, in Jacksonville, Alabama. So the home team, KSU's 9-3. Jacksonville State is only 8-4. The Owls losses to Wake Forest, Indiana, and yes, they lost to Jacksonville State, Mike, 35-26, only a few weeks ago on November 15th. And that was at Jacksonville State. This one's a repeat. That game, Kennesaw State outgained Jacksonville 579-451. The issue in this was the Owls turned the ball over 4 times. Odom had 3 interceptions in this game, Mike. Not too good. His partner Williams had 1. So interceptions went back for 15, 40, 50, and 60 yards. Owls defense ranked 107, offense ranked 44th. So Kennesaw State is 8-4 against the spread and 3-3 away. All right, since the Jacksonville State game, Jacksonville State, first of all, lost to UCF. They lost to Georgia Southern, lost to Southern Miss. They lost to FIU. FIU is the team that Kennesaw State beat by 19. Jacksonville lost by 6. Gamecocks quarterback Caden Creel is 1245, 61%, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And he's also the second leading rusher at 973 and 6 TDs. They've got a running back, Cam Cook, that's the bomb. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards, 5.7, 15 TDs. Those two guys can run the ball. Jacksonville State defense ranked 90th, offense 29th. The Gamecocks are 6-6 against the spread, and they are 4-1 as a home underdog, Mike. So that's the one that kind of stood out to me in this particular situation. I just think the rushing attack's going to be a little too much for Kennesaw State. They're going to be away. Kennesaw State hasn't played that great when they've been away. I think it's going to be a little too much for them. And I think there's some doubt in their mind that they could be losing their coach. So give me Jacksonville State here, Mike. I hate to do it, at plus 2.5.
Yeah, I think that might be a good side. Jacksonville State has yet to lose a home game this year at all. But in this one, I'm going to take the over. I'm going to go over 59.5 points. I think this one's going to be a shootout from the start. Both offenses are pretty lethal and legit. You mentioned Kennesaw State's quarterback struggles this previous time they played earlier this year. Kennesaw State absolutely dominated that game. They had 32 first downs. I think Jacksonville State only had like 18. They were doing whatever they wanted. They just had some things not go their way in some inopportune times. Jacksonville State ended up pulling away and winning that game. I think if you replay that game over and over and over, 8 times out of 10 at least, Kennesaw State probably gets that one done if they don't turn those balls over. So in this one, I think that offense is still going to continue to find success. Jacksonville State, I think, is going to be ready with being at home. I like the over here, but I would not be surprised, Dave, if Kennesaw State were to get this one done. I think that's why they are the favorite in this one. I also saw talk about long shots, right? This one's probably a 0.0005% chance, but Kennesaw State actually has a long shot at getting in the playoff as that group of 5 conference champion winner, believe it or not, with their record being what it is. And if some things were to play out and some losses were to happen ahead of them, Kennesaw State could end up in the playoff in their first year being bowl eligible. Again, probably a 0.00005% chance or so, but it's somewhat
It's
possible.
there. It's
It's
there.
there.
It's there.
It's there.
Gotcha. So I really hope the coach can stick around one more year, but he's on some hot list, and I kind of worry he might go, because I know there's not a whole ton of money there at Kennesaw State right now, but I hope he can stay around one more year. There was scuttlebutt he could be going to USF, but obviously that did not happen. That
Be a
one's
good fit.
already been filled. But all right, next game. This is the game that I will be focused on Friday night as the coach of the Florida Gators will be coaching in this game. We have North Texas favored by 2.5 at Tulane. Over under is 66.5. This is the American Athletic Conference Championship. Mike, did you have a change on the numbers?
No, I was just looking at who I didn't see who South Florida hired as their head coach. I didn't see it was Brian Hartline. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. It's very interesting. I'm befuddled there. I really am. He I thought he could get a Power Five team, but if you really look at it, he's only just this year been a coordinator, even though he's
Yeah.
brought in all these
Yeah, he
great
was a wide
wide
receiver coach.
receivers. So
Yep.
I guarantee you, if he has a winning record at USF, he's gone. So probably, but
Well,
very interesting.
I think it'll be interesting to see if he has a winning record. He can bring he can recruit, but we'll
Yeah,
see if he can
yeah.
hire a staff. I
That
mean, that's a
hire a
big part of it.
staff, win freaking games. That's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. So,
But USF's
I
a cool opportunity with them building
that,
that new stadium and
they
everything.
do. That was the
They're
big.
investing a lot into that program right now.
That was the big selling point to him, is what I read. It was the new stadium for sure. So, all right. So we got the American Athletic Conference game with the Florida Gators coach, 8 p.m. Friday night in New Orleans. We got at the Green Wave. So we got North Texas coming in this game 11-1, and Tulane ranked 24th coming in at 10-2. So this game, we've got the two coaches that are saying adios after this game. Obviously, our guy Sumrall coming to the Gators, but the North Texas coach is going to Oklahoma State. Both teams have played 3 of the top 5 teams in the conference. Tulane is 3-0. North Texas 2-1. Tulane's beaten 2 Power 5 teams in Northwestern and Duke. Okay. North Texas, their lone loss was to South Florida, who we just talked about, on October 10th, and they got their ass handed to them 63-36 at South Florida. So playmakers, and Mike, this is interesting person or player or quarterback for North Texas, Drew Mastamaker, 3,835 yards at 70%, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He will not be at North Texas next year, Mike. No ifs, ands, or buts. I think that it's going to be hard for his coach to get him to come to Oklahoma State, to be honest with you. I mean, it's going to take a lot of money to get this guy. I think he's going to be in the top 3 movement quarterbacks that are in the portal, but he will be in the portal. Running back Caleb Hawkins, 1,216 yards, 23 TDs. The number 1 offense in the land coming out of there in North Texas. Defense is 65th. So North Texas is 10-2 against the spread and 4-1 away. So now we look at my coach's team, the Tulane Green Wave. We got losses away at Ole Miss and to UTSA. That was their they got smacked by UTSA. He was flat pissed. I saw an interview after that. Oh God, it was ugly. But they did get beat by UTSA, and we talked about that one, and that was that home deal where the dude hasn't lost at all. Trailer hasn't lost at home until he lost to Army last week. All right, after we put money on that. In that loss, okay, Tulane's loss, they had 3 interceptions and a lost fumble to UTSA. So thus that could have been an issue. They have quarterback Jake Resloff, 2,717 yards, 63%, 14-6. He's the leading rusher on the team at 561, 5.4 carrying 14 TDs. Mike, do you know why he got booted out of BYU? Okay. Just for our staff or our people out there in that are watching, I won't get too deep into it, but if you get caught having premarital sex at BYU, you're off the team, and that's what happened. So I thought it was something worse than that, but ironically, that's what it was. All right, so I digress.
You can't do that out there, Dave.
You can't do that at BYU.
Highly frowned upon.
They probably signed something. So this team's got several capable running backs as well. Tulane's defense 64th, offense 39th. Tulane is only 5-6-1, Mike, against the spread, which ain't too good. Winner of this game, well, I think if Tulane wins, they go to the playoff, but I think if our friends over there at JMU win, they go to the playoff. So I don't think North Texas is going to be able to go. Offense of the Mean Greens going to be a little too much for that Tulane defense. And I hate to say it, but our coach is going to be able to get down to Gainesville a little quicker than most people think. So give me North Texas and the money line.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go North Texas in this one. As you mentioned, both coaches are not going to be there following this game. Signing day was today, so, in terms of these coaches getting prepared, more so Summerall rather than Morris going to Oklahoma State. He was trying to keep, the recruiting classes that they had intact. We talked about it a little bit before the show. He was able to do that for Florida, so now his focus, I think, is shifting back to this game against North Texas. I think being at home is a big advantage for Tulane in this one, to be honest. But I think North Texas offense is going to be way too much for Tulane in this one. So I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with North Texas. But this one is going to be a very good game.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely one you're going to want to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So shout out to Hindu and Public House in the chat, my son. All right. Next up, UNLV. The Fighting Dan Mullins at Boise on the blue turf. Boise favored in this one by 4, over under 58.5. The Mountain West Championship, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time in Albertson Stadium on the blue field in Boise. So here we got the Rebs coming in at 10-2 on the year, and Boise is 8-4. UNLV's got 2 losses. New Mexico, and yes, they lost to Boise State, Mike, 56-31 on the blue turf. Okay, so we got a repeat, Mike. In that game, Boise had 80 more yards of offense, 1 more turnover than Vegas had. The Broncos were better on third downs than Vegas, but when we look at Calandria, the quarterback for UNLV, 3,000 yards passing, Mike, 68%, 22 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Running back Thomas has almost 1,000 yards, 944 and 12 TDs. UNLV defense ranked 116, hot damn garbage. We talked about them all year. Offense is 15th in the nation. UNLV 7-5 against the spread, 0-1 as an away underdog. Boise lost to USF, Notre Dame, Fresno, San Diego State. Damn. The 2 losses A couple of losses were with quarterback cut first two games. That's the new quarterback that's going to be manning the Boise State team. He's settled in a little bit. In 4 games, he's got 857 yards, 57%. They got a couple good running backs in Riley at 1,000 yards and Gaines at 700 yards. Boise defense ranked 32nd, offense 27th. Boise 7-4-1 against the spread and 5-1 as a home favorite. UNLV has played better overall when you look at the record than Boise has. Boise kind of lucked into this game as the way the Mountain West configured and made their selection. There were better teams that should have been in, like New Mexico, who beat UNLV last week, probably should have been in this game and not Boise. So they kind of got through the back door in this one. UNL defense, the last 2 or 3 games, much better. I'm going to take the Fighting Dan Mullins. Give me those 4 points and the Fighting Dan Mullins.
Yeah, I'm sure everything that you just said was great, Dave. Great analysis. Unfortunately, my headphones have died, so I am charging them right now. But, we're going to work through it. And I had a feeling you were going to go on the side that you were. So we're going with another classic head-to-head here. I'm going to take Boise State minus the 4.5. Boise State's already beaten this UNLV team earlier this year. They play at home in this one on that blue turf. That is a big, big difference. It's going to be outside. It's going to be cold. Those UNLV guys, they play indoors. They play where it's warm. They're not used to this. It's going to be ugly. I think Boise State gets this one done. UNLV does have an offense. Look for the offense to be able to score. However, Boise State has a defense, and I think UNLV is going to struggle against that defense in the cold. I think that's the difference in this one. Give me Boise State on the blue turf to cover the 4.5.
All right, Mike, it's all good. We're using hand signals up to this point.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to read the signals right. It's like charades. I got it. We're on to the next.
Next game. I can always put some stuff in the chat, Mike, can I? Next game. All right, here we go. All right, we've got BYU versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech's getting 12.5 points in this one, folks. Over under 49.5. This is the Big 12 championship, Saturday at noon Eastern time at Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So what we have here, we got BYU coming in ranked 11th in the land with an 11-1 record. Texas Tech is 11-1 as well, but they're 5th in the nation. The Cougars, their only loss was to Texas Tech on November 8th. Okay, 29-7. They got their ass handed to them. Lost by 22. Texas Tech outgained the Cougs 368 to 255. BYU was 3 of 14 on third downs. BYU had 2 fumbles lost and threw an interception. Time of possession was about the same. So, in my opinion, the turnovers played a very large role in this loss. BYU, they beat Utah by 20. And again, they lost to Texas Tech. They've got this is going to be 2 good defensive teams, in my opinion. That's why the point spread's 49. It might be good to look at, that going maybe under at this point. But BYU defense is 27th, offense 42nd. The Cougs are 9-3 against the spread and 1-1 against ranked opponents. Okay. Texas Tech comes into this one. They're only lost to Arizona State by 3 at Arizona State. Red Raiders are 11-1 against the spread and 10-1 as a favorite. Well, I think Texas Tech's going to win this game, but I think 12.5 is too much at this particular point because I think BYU is going to stick with them. We saw in that other game it was a lot of turnovers. They really got off to a bad start in the very beginning. It kind of killed the momentum. So, in my opinion, Tech's going to win the game, but I think BYU is going to cover those 12.5 half points in this particular game. So that's where I am at this point. BYU covering and give me those 12.5 points in BYU. Mike, what do you think?
Again, Dave, great analysis. Okay, I'm sure that was stupendous, and everybody really needs to pay attention when he gives this in-depth, detailed analysis that Dave does. Okay, pay attention. You can learn a thing or two. Having said that, we're going on the opposite side. We're going to take Texas Tech minus the 12.5 points. I'm not scared of it. BYU's quarterback can't throw the football. He can run it. His number is like 47 or some shit. That's no quarterback of mine. Bachmeyer, more like Meyer, okay? Give me Texas Tech. Oil money, baby. They bought this team this year for a reason. We talked about it at the beginning of the year in our preview show. We called that they were going to be in the playoff. They're going to be in the playoff, win or lose this game. They're going to win this one. They're going to win by 12.5. They're going to win by over 12.5. Give me Texas Tech to cover the 12.5. Also, outside shot for their linebacker, Joey Rodriguez, to get into the Heisman race, potentially an invite to New York. Just saying. Big showcase here Saturday in the 12 o'clock slot here for the potential Heisman invite. But no, give me the Red Raiders.
All righty. I like it, Mike. I like it. All right. Except you're going to get your ass kicked because I'm covering and winning that one. All right. Next game. He can't hear. All right. Next game, we got Miami of Ohio versus Western Michigan. This would be the MAC championship. Western Michigan favored by 2.5. Over under is 43.5. This is noon on Saturday at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. So Miami of Ohio is 7-5. Wow. Western Michigan 8-4. These are our top teams. Woo. The Red Hawks lost to Wisconsin, Rutgers, and UNLV in the first few games, then to Ohio and Toledo in the middle of the year. That's Miami of Ohio. That's our team in the championship. Miami is they're on their third quarterback, which is a big problem. Thomas Gowiski. He's only got 413 yards. He's throwing at 53%, 4 touchdowns. Their quarterback Daquan Finn, that was all that. He basically quit the team, sitting out. He's preparing for the NFL, a bunch of BS. So, bottom line, Miami of Ohio is in trouble on the quarterback front. The Miami defense is 28th, offense 88th. Miami's 8-5 against the spread and only 1-4 as an underdog. So the Broncos of Western Michigan lost to Michigan State, North Texas, and Illinois early. Then they lost to Miami of Ohio, the team they're playing, on October 25th, 26-17 at Miami. In that game, Miami outgained them 408 to 315. But remember, they had a different quarterback. They had their guy that's supposedly preparing for the NFL now. So you can forget about that. Quarterback Brock Lowry for the Broncos, 1572, 635, and seven touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's also run for 875. So this is one of those running quarterbacks, and 17 TDs. So quite effective in the running game. They've also got Buckley, a running back, at 636. Western's defense ranks 17th, offense 110. Western's 8-3-1 against the spread and 5-1-1 as a favorite. With the third string quarterback, Miami's they're not getting it done. This one to me is an easy one. Western basically playing at home. They're playing in Michigan. They can run the ball. They're running down the throats. This is going to be kind of a boring-ass game because the score is going to be low. But give me Western Michigan to take care of business quite easily. And give me Western Michigan on the money line. Mike, what do you think?
All right. Again, very detailed analysis. Couldn't say enough nice things about it. I'm going to go with the under in this one. Give me the under 43.5 here. These two teams have played already this year. That total finished at 43. It was 26-17 in that one. Miami of Ohio won it, which I'm sure you just went over. However, for me, with these teams playing each other already, they got a great scouting report. Not only do you have 11 other games to go off of, but you have a specific head-to-head that you can go back, watch tape, and these offenses are not the best, okay? They are not going to be able to pull a rabbit out of their hat for this one and sort of change it up enough to fool these defenses. And these defenses are pretty good. Western Michigan has a good defense. Miami of Ohio has a decent defense. I think with those two things being a factor here, I really have a hard time seeing either one of these teams kind of eclipsing that 25-point mark in this one. So go ahead and give me the under 43.5 here. Playing at Ford Field, Dave, in this one.
That's right. Ford Field, Michigan. All right. Here we go. Next game. We got the hoo. All right. Mike's getting the mic. Mike's getting his earphones, so he's gonna hear the hoo. All right, here we go.
I gotta put him on for this one.
All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Let's put it on so you can hear my barking. Got that, Mike? Can you hear me?
I got you.
Can you hear me?
We're good. Let's
All
go.
right.
Break
we got
it down.
the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oh, hey,
2.5. 2.5 versus the Alabama Crimson Tide, the over under 47.5. This is the SEC championship game, Saturday at 4 p.m. Played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the ATL. Georgia comes into this game ranked number 4 in the land at 11-1. Bama is number 10 at 10-2. Georgia's only lost to the Tide back in September, 2 months ago, against the Tide. Since that point, they have had wins over ranked Georgia Tech, ranked Texas, ranked Ole Miss, ranked Tennessee. Gunnar Stockton, 25, 35, 70%, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He won't be going up for the Heisman Trophy, but he's done a good job. He's rushed for 403 yards, 8 TDs. Nate Frazier running at 809. He's not going to get 1,000. 5.6 a carry, 5 TDs. Chauncey Bowens has 493, 5.2, and 6 TDs. The Dogs defense ranked 13th. Man, I can remember when they were like 40th at the beginning of the year. Back when they played Bama, by the way. They're 13th now after playing all those teams that are ranked, oh, by the way. Offense is number 40. Bulldogs, the usual, 5-7 against the spread and 5-7 as a favorite against the spread. Tide's losses, okay? FSU early. By the way, FSU, dog shit you. And Oklahoma at home just a couple of weeks ago. Wins over ranked Vandy and Tennessee. All right. We know Bama's issue, except for the Auburn game, has been running the ball. They ran the ball in Auburn, but I guess Auburn can't stop the run. But Bama's had issue running the ball all year, Mike. Add that to the rushing woes, but Bam Miller, Mike, good chance he won't be playing in this one, Mike. He got injured in the Auburn game, was in a boot. So he will, at a minimum, be nursing a lower leg injury. So add insult to injury of that crappy running game. Quarterback Ty Simpson, man, he's got 3,000 yards, 66%, 25 touchdowns. Mr. Miller's run for 493. Backup Daniel Hill is probably who we're going to see the most of. He's got 217 yards, 3.8 a carry, and 5 TDs. Weighs 250 pounds. He's a big load to bring down. So Bama defense ranked 12th. Offense 52nd. Tied are 8-3-1 against the spread and 1-0 as an underdog. Mike, it's been 4 years since the Dogs defeated Alabama, Mike. January 10th, 2022 in the national championship game. Here's the deal. Dogs are playing better. They're improved. Bama's overrated. Dogs are a better team. Give me the Dogs and the money line. What do you think?
I think I still don't know what side I want in this one. That's what I think.
Oh, come on, man. I did it. That was a sell job. I mean, how could it be? How could I have done any better selling that?
It was a sell job for Georgia, that's for sure. But what you're leaving out is
of course,
Alabama.
Because it's the most important.
Okay, all right. Alabama is Georgia's Achilles heel. They are. Look, let's just be real about it, okay?
Let's don't do history, Mike.
Georgia is Achilles, all right? Unstoppable, invincible. They cannot be beaten unless they play Alabama, okay? It is what it is. Alabama has won their 10 of their last 11 games against Georgia, all right? You combine that with Kalen DeBoer's record versus top 25 opponents in general, which I believe now is 17-3. Could be mistaken. You combine that with the SEC championship location of being Mercedes-Benz and Georgia's issues with playing in that stadium. You saw them last week against Georgia Tech. Did they look impressive to you? No, not really. See? I'm not convinced. I had Georgia, full transparency. Georgia was my pick for this show. I really don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Four out of the last 11 times that Alabama has beat Georgia, they were also underdogs. They're an underdog in this one again. It's 2.5.
Come on, Mike. What do you got? Roll damn Tide.
Yeah, let's do a head-to-head. I'm going to go against my better judgment, and that means probably for my Bulldog fans out there, specifically Hindu, he's always upset when I pick Georgia because it never seems to go his way. Good luck this week.
Hindu.
You might be all right.
We're good, Hindu.
Give me the Tide, man. Give me the Tide.
Nirvana.
Give me the Tide.
And everybody else on here that's Georgia fans. So no worries, folks.
Also give me the Tide because it reiterates the plan of the committee to leave out this team right here. Okay. It's all part of the plan, Dave. Right. Got to read the script.
I like it. Hopefully you got 20% left on your headphones. Let's get this next game in at least. So to me, this is the game I've been looking forward to watching for like ever, all year. We got Indiana, Ohio State, Big Ten championship game, 8 p.m., Lucas Oil Stadium, Mike. Mike, what state is Lucas Oil Stadium in? Indiana, Mike. Indianapolis, Indiana. Maybe the home team has something going here, maybe. So Ohio State favored right now by 4. 47.5, 8 p.m. Okay. Hoosiers 12-0, ranked number 2. Buckeyes 12-0, ranked number 1. The ranked teams that Indiana has beaten, Illinois, but they're not ranked anymore. They beat them 63-10, and Oregon 30-20. That would be the list of ranked teams. It was, we I don't know. We'll leave that there. The top Heisman candidate, Mike, Fernando Mendoza, number 1 on the Heisman list right now. 27.58, 72%, 32 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, run for 243. Indiana's running back room, Hembry, 866, Black, 729, Martin, 453. They can run the damn ball. Indiana's defense ranked number 4, offense ranked number 5. Indiana is 7-5 against the spread and 1-0 as an underdog. If we look at the ranked teams the Buckeyes have played, Mike, Texas, they won 14-7. Illinois, 31-16, very similar to that. Well, no, not even close to 63-10. And they beat Michigan last week, 27-9. The number 3 Heisman candidate, Mike, Julian Sayin, is at the helm of them Buckeyes. He's got 3,000 yards, 78%, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And by the way, their running back, the Bo Jackson, has 952, 6.3 a carry, and 5 touchdowns. Buckeye defense ranked number 1. Offense is 24th. Ohio State is 10-1-1 against the spread and 10-1-1 as a favorite. I mean, it's like hands down. I mean, why would you even bet against them? Interesting fact. I asked AI to rank the strength of schedules of all the Big Ten teams, Mike. Okay? There are 18 Big Ten teams. Guess where Ohio State and Indiana ended up? Now, we're talking about the whole schedule. Out of 18 teams, where do you think these clowns ended up? 17-18 in terms of toughest schedule. Everybody else in the conference has tougher schedules than the number 1 and number 2 team. Talking about a setup. Damn. All right. If we look at margins of victory, I think that the Hoosiers are a little bit better here. I think it comes down to 1 damn field goal in this game. I just can't give away 4 points. Give me the Hoosiers of Indiana and the 4 points.
Yeah, this one is going to be a classic Big Ten offensive struggle, defensive presence type of game. A couple of explosive plays are going to be the difference in this one. I'm sorry, Evelyn. The explosive plays are going to come on the Buckeye side. They have the skill players on the outside. Julian Sand, you mentioned 78% completion. Absolutely ridiculous for a true freshman. He's breaking records. Should be invited to New York. We'll see if he is or not. The guy on the opposite side for Indiana, Mendoza, he will be invited to New York. He's still the favorite to win the Heisman right now. But if you look at his stats compared to the last 4 or 5 quarterback Heisman Trophy winners, I mean, he just doesn't have the stats for it. It's a really weak race this year. He's probably going to win it. But this is going to be the best defense that I think he's faced all season long, by far.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a huge wake-up call to this offense of Indiana. You sort of saw it last year as well. They kind of ran through their schedule. They did the same thing last year, and then once they got to the playoff, once they got to the championship sort of rounds, you kind of saw who they really were when they got into those competition moments. Ohio State has been there. They've done this. They're built for this. I do not think they're going to be shying away from this one at all. I think Ohio State gets it done. I think this game's like a 20 to 7 type of game. I would look at the under also potentially in this one. This one's not going to be a super blowout for either side. But unfortunately, I think the Buckeyes are probably going to get the cover, get this one done, hold on to that number 1 seed going into the playoff. Sorry, Evelyn.
We shall see. And oh, by the way, Caleb just got on. He's saying go Indiana too. So in your face. All right, here we go. Last game. And freaking, I didn't call Colin to tell him to get on.
Hold on. Insane, by the way, that you chose this to be the last game. Just want to throw that out
No,
there. Just want to throw that out there.
It was the order at which it was laid out in all the lines. I thought you would switch it to the other game first, but we can whatever. I'm just upset Colin's not on.
That's fair.
I'm upset Colin's not on. So all right, here's what we got. We got the Duke versus Virginia. We got the ACC championship at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, 8 p.m. Saturday night. We got Virginia favored by now only 3.5 points. Over under is 57.5. So Duke backs into this game. Bullshit. On a technicality, because these clowns have crazy ass ways of laying out the who gets into where and who gets this and that. It's just a bunch of crap. Should have been whoever is ranked the highest in the poll got into this thing, and your Miami Hurricanes would be playing Virginia, and you wouldn't even be worried here. But here's what we got. Duke is 7-5. Virginia is ranked 18th at 10-2 on the year. Duke losses at Illinois, Tulane, Georgia Tech, UConn, and yes, they lost to Virginia 34-17 less than a month ago, Mike. In that game, the Cavs put up 540 on offense. Duke put up 255. Virginia actually had one more turnover than Duke. And oh, by the way, it was at Duke. So, well, this game is in North Carolina, so I guess it's going to be an advantage to them like they had in that game, right? Yeah. Mensah, he's put up crazy numbers, man. 34-50, 67%, 28 touchdowns. Nate Shepard, running back, 865 and 9 TDs. Looks good. Duke defense is hot garbage, 109. Offense, 34th because of Mensah and his $4 million contract. The Duke Blue Devils are 5-6-1 against the spread, and 1-2 as an underdog. Virginia lost to North Carolina State early at North Carolina State, and we know that's tough to win there, right, Mike? You taught me that one. And they lost to Wake as well. So quarterback Chandler Morris kicking butt, 25-86, 66%, 14-7. He's run for 248 and 5 touchdowns. Their running back Jamari Taylor, 997, 4.8, 14 touchdowns. He's a beast. Virginia's defense, 21st. Offense, 26. The Cavs are 8-4 against the spread, 5-3 as a favorite. Man, this one's not even close. Give me Virginia to easily cover 3.5, and it's another Gator Dave lock.
Yeah, this one's one of those. It stinks. Okay, and I'm not talking just about the game, which that stinks to high heaven, but the spread in this one stinks for all the reasons that you just mentioned. Virginia whooped Duke earlier in the year at Duke. Virginia is clearly the better offense, clearly the better defense. They're potentially in line for a playoff spot. However, Dave, what Virginia doesn't know, or what they might know, but they're not thinking about, is the Manny Diaz Miami aspect. Now, I hate to bring it back to Miami, but it seems to be a little bit of a full circle situation, okay? Miami fires Manny Diaz because he couldn't make it to the ACC championship game. Couldn't get it done. Manny Diaz gets hired at Duke. Somehow, in a year that Miami goes 10-2 and Manny Diaz goes 7-5, he finds himself in the ACC championship game before Mario Cristobal does and the Miami Hurricanes, his predecessor, or his follow-up. Okay? It's only right. It's only right if Manny Diaz were to win this game in a cold, cold night in Charlotte, North Carolina. Not only winning an ACC championship game before Miami and Mario Cristobal in the same conference, but also knocking the ACC out of the playoff conversation altogether. Grim Reaper Manny Diaz will be live and well Saturday night. Give me the Duke Blue Devils plus the 3.5. It's going to be an ugly game. I also was considering the under here in this one. Take it for what you will. It's going to be chilly. Virginia's minds potentially elsewhere, potentially on Tuesday night, thinking about if we win this game, we're in. Duke has nothing to lose. They're 7-5. They should not even be here. They're lucky to even have a bowl game this year. Okay, it's going to be sneaky. Watch out. Watch out. That's all I'm saying.
Watch out.
Watch out.
All right. That's the slate. And the interesting thing about this week, Mike, is because we only had a few games, we have no extra games for the podcast this week. So we are sorry, but those of you who listen to the podcast, we thank all of you that were on the podcast, and we thank all the folks that were in the chat. Thank you so much. You guys killed it. It was really fun. We'll see. A lot going on with these championship games. It's gonna lead us to the college football playoff and who's in, who's out, and we'll yak it up next week for sure. We'll spend a lot of time talking about the teams that are in the college football playoff and those first few games, and we'll talk about Army Navy, and we'll talk about Heisman Trophy candidates, because in all honesty, I think that I firmly believe that the Indiana-Ohio State game could direct us to the Heisman Trophy winner. And I'll leave it at that. And we'll have, I'm sure, some other – you guys want to give us a shout, let us know what you'd like us to talk about next week too. We're more than happy to chat about it. You get in the chat, tell us what you think. But another great week. Look forward to some really exciting games. I mean, most of these games are – they're pretty close. There's not a lot that are far apart. You can money line almost all of them.
Oof.
With the exception of a couple, right? So it should be an exciting weekend. Look forward to it starting on Friday night with our Florida Gator coach coaching there in Tulane. So pretty excited about that. So, Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, thank everybody for watching and listening. As always, we really appreciate it. If you haven't already, like Dave said, give us a like, drop a comment, go ahead and subscribe. Give us that 5-star rating wherever you get your podcasts at, and give us a follow there as well. I just want to point out, too, in that recap, I don't know if you noticed, 6 out of the 9 games, true head-to-head.
Oh,
True
nice.
head-to-head.
I love it. I freaking love it.
So we'll have some stuff to talk about Wednesday for sure for that Army-Navy matchup. Like Dave said as well, we will be back next Wednesday, December 10th, normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk the Army-Navy matchup, and we'll also be able to talk kind of a preview of the college football playoff after that selection show on Tuesday the 9th. Make sure to check that out. Make sure to check us out as well Wednesday night. Also, NFL show. We're probably looking at bringing that back tomorrow. Fingers crossed that it all works out. So look out for that, maybe early afternoon. Thursday. Steel City Scott and I should be on for that one. So thank you again for watching. Make sure to check out shopcya.com as well if you haven't already. Get those assets covered for these championship games. A lot of bowl games coming up. You need it for when you travel, folks. You want to have it. Make sure those assets are covered. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Dave, go Canes. There's still a chance. Still a chance, Dave.
There's still a chance for your Canes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We need BYU to lose. BYU to lose. That's the biggest step.